The Fan by David Smith. Music by Cristina Sergi. Mojave Crossing, Part 8. Kevin comes out of the tent to see Maggie and the twins cutting up the fish. Maggie had been cleaning her own fish since she was young. Stacy and Trudy weren't squeamish about it since they just copied their mother. It took only a few minutes to finish when Kevin pitched in. "You guys really did good this morning," Maggie tells Kevin. "Junior caught the biggest one," Kevin tells her. "These are the biggest and most of the week," Maggie says. "We have enough hash browns to have breakfast. We can probably save a few of these fish for lunch or dinner. We only have 7 eggs, so I'll scramble them." "We'll do it, Mom," Trudy and Stacy volunteer. Maggie knew they would. "Okay, but we'll wait until Junior wakes up," she tells Trudy. When they finish with the fish, Maggie hands Kevin a cup of coffee and picks hers up. "Did you boys have fun?" "Yeah," Kevin answers. "That kid definitely has fishing in his blood. He didn't complain about anything. When he caught his fish, he was calm and did everything perfectly. He's growing up, baby." "I know, they're all getting big," Maggie agrees. They both look at the twins, lost in their thoughts. "Why don't we read?" Stacy asks, breaking the silence. "They've been bugging me to get back to the story for half an hour," Maggie explains. "I passed the time telling them about the beginning and Tell crossing the desert with the black-eyed witch woman. And how he lost his gold," Trudy added. "Are you two that anxious to hear the story?" Kevin asks the twins. "Yeah," Trudy responds. "This is fun." Stacy nods her head in agreement. "I like all the horses." "I'll start," Maggie says, holding Mojave Crossing, "since I have the book." Maggie opens the book to Chapter 7, page 101. Tell Sackett had taken an old pirate to get some treasure he had cached off of the coast of Rancho Malibu. They'd done it in the middle of the night. This would pay off the bad guys who were trying to get his land. Tell's in the home of Ben Mandrin, ex-pirate. Several gunfighters in the room also, along with the crooked banker. It's a tense few minutes. Some of them eat breakfast. When it's over, Mandrin puts a sack of gold coins on the table. He says he's paid in full and with interest. Then he tells him to leave. Tell thinks this is good advice and goes to get his gear. Ben keeps his promise to Tell and gives him 20 mules in thanks for his help. Tell plans to buy supplies to sell to miners in Arizona, but first he has to get his gold. Maggie finishes the chapter and hands the book to Kevin. "Your turn, my love." Kevin takes the book, looks at the twins to see excitement in their eyes. "You two are still enjoying this, aren't you?" he asked them. They both nod their heads and look at each other. Kevin starts reading. Tell leaves the mules at Ben's ranch for now and returns to the Pico house in Los Angeles. His friend Rodrigo found out that a gunman, Sandman Dyer, has his gold. The problem is he also has 40 outlaws with him, and Tell doesn't have a plan. It turns out Tell knew Dyer from the Civil War. The man was psychotic. Since Tell hadn't had much sleep, he decides to get some rest before he goes after the outlaw. The next morning, Tell asks around town for Dyer and finds him in a saloon. After some talk and an argument, Tell gets his gold. Dyer gets lead. That ends Chapter 8, Kevin says. "Should we continue or give Junior a wake-up call?" "Let's let him sleep a little longer," Maggie says. "He got up awful early." "What do you two have planned for today?" Maggie asks the girls. They look at each other and both shrug their shoulders. "Just swim and hang out with you guys," Stacy answers. "Didn't you meet some girls the other day?" Maggie asks. "Yeah, but they're 13 and 14. I think they're too old for us." "It'll be nice if we all stay together for the last day," Kevin says. "In the morning we'll just pack up and leave. I want to stop by the garage and give Michael his book back." "I never got to call my mom about the Lamore books," Maggie comments. "I'm 99% positive she has them all, or most of them. My dad and then Tom used to read them a lot. They read other westerns too, but Lamore was their favorite." "I'm really looking forward to seeing them," Kevin says. "I want to ask Michael if he can recommend another book that has early Los Angeles in it." Then Junior's new friend Matt comes into their camp very shyly. "Is Junior here?" he asks. "He is, but he's sleeping right now," Maggie tells him. "He and his dad went fishing this morning." "Very early this morning," Maggie emphasizes. "Would you like to see the fish?" Matt nods his head. Kevin's closer to the cooler the fish are in and lifts the lid. "Wow," Matt says. "Would you like to have breakfast with us?" Maggie offers. Just then Junior comes out of the tent. "Hi, Matt," and he's ready to play, but Maggie grabs him. "He's our hero," she announces, picking him up and hugging him. "You caught our breakfast," Maggie tells him. She puts him down and Stacy and Trudy each give him a big hug. Junior is very proud of himself. "I had a hard time with a couple of them," he explains. "I thought for sure they were going to pull me in." They all laugh, since this is exactly what Kevin would tell him when he was younger. "Now he's big enough for fish stories," Kevin proclaims. "Let's have breakfast first, then we'll all go down to the river," Maggie says. "Everybody sit down and we'll get it ready," Trudy announces. Maggie pulls Junior onto her lap and asks him to tell them all about him and his dad's fishing trip. He doesn't elaborate enough, and she asks for a few more details. Once Maggie is satisfied to know his version, she looks over at the chefs. Stacy is just bringing 2 plates, one for Maggie, the other for Kevin. She returns for 2 more plates while Trudy is cleaning up. Stacy puts these in front of Matt and Junior. He's not in Maggie's lap now. Stacy grabs hers and Trudy's plates and sits down, Trudy following a few minutes later. The twins both begin questioning Junior. He was loving it. After they cleaned up the breakfast mess, they grabbed the river toys and of course Junior's box of cars. With Matt helping, they almost had everything. Junior said he and Matt would return for the extra stuff. As they walk to the river, Mojave Crossing is riding comfortably in Stacy's back pocket. End of Part 8.